Hey there, beautiful people. So, we're out on a little RV trip, and I got to thinking, as I normally do, uh, and kind of just thinking about the new year and what people are looking for and changes they're looking to make. And I decided to write some things down since we've stopped off to play at a playground for a little bit. So, with the new year in full flow, everybody's trying to, like I said, make a change, whether it's nutritionally, fitness wise, uh, getting more done, spending more time with the kids, whatever it might be. Everybody's trying to make a change at this point. And um, the biggest question that I've been asked since the start of the year uh, is about diet and nutrition. And I'm not a big fan of the word diet because I feel like in my experience, what I've seen over the years is it sets you up for failure. Because for me, the word diet historically is more about short term goals and not about um, setting up good nutritional habits for the rest of your life. And that's basically what it's coming down to. It's about setting those good nutritional habits so you don't get into a situation where you're doing the same thing year after year. You lose those 15 pounds and then you gain back 20, and then you just start that cycle all over again. So that's something I want to make sure you avoid, and that's some of the information that I'm trying to share with you today. So keep listening so you can learn some stuff here. So I always have, hey bud. So I always have people asking, should I do the keto diet? Should I do paleo? Should I do low carb? Should I do Weight Watchers? And no matter what diet you or way of eating you're attempting to accomplish your goals with, the answer is yes. You use them. Now, the big question you need to ask yourself when you're setting yourself up for one of these ways of eating or types of eating styles is this something that I might do for the rest of my life? Is this something that I can see myself doing in the long term? So don't pick a diet just to do a diet to lose that quick 5, 10, 15 pounds, whatever it might be. Um, the great thing about that I love that people are asking this question is the fact that you've noticed you need to make a change. What you're currently doing is not working. So you've noticed you need to make a change, which is half the battle right there. So it's definitely a good start. So the question is, where do I go from here? Um, so here's how I look at it. Everybody's an expert when it comes to this, um, and rightly so, because they're people that want to give you advice on it have obviously done something that's worked for them. Now that's the big part right there. Is at the end I said for them. Now just because it worked for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Now by all means you can give it a go and see what happens, but it worked for them for a reason. And the reason it worked for them is because of their body type and their budget and their motivation and their time and their all these other different things that come into all these different factors. Um, and you most likely have different goals. You have a different body type. You have a different budget. You have different motivation. So you need to find out what works for you. That's the huge part about it. So you have a lot of people on Facebook saying, yeah, you got to do what works for you. You got to do what works for you. But nobody's given any instruction on how to figure out what works for you. So here's my bit here. If you can just hang on for another couple of minutes and keep listening. I like to explain to my clients, do an elimination diet. And do it for 21 days or 42 days. So for 3 weeks or 6 weeks. Whatever you think is going to work best for you. Now, what does an elimination diet include? Let me just flip the page here. So, elimination diet basically is where you take certain food groups and you eliminate them for 3 to 7 days at a time. This will do a few different things. And like you can start off with, say, I'm going to cut out grains for 3 days or 7 days. And then you'll do, say, added sugar. I'm going to cut out added sugar. And then I'll cut out alcohol. And then I'll cut out, and you just go through the different food groups. I'll cut out dairy and so on and so forth. And if you want more information on this, just shoot me a message and I'll send it on. I'll give you a little plan on how to execute it all. And I'll give you recipes, and I'll give you a shopping list, the whole gambit. But the reason for doing this is there's basically 5 different reasons that I would have people do an elimination diet. And this isn't a long-term thing. This is something that's going to set you up so you figure out how to do a long-term diet. So number one reason for doing an elimination diet is it's going to, one, increase your awareness. And this is basically any diet that you decide you're going to set yourself up with. But this, for me, this is the best way to do it. So it's going to increase your awareness. And by increase your awareness, I mean you're going to begin to realize what your body likes and what it doesn't like. So if you eat certain foods and you feel like crap afterwards, you probably shouldn't be eating that food. Straightforward, right? That's something that you'd think we should all know and be able to figure out. And this is something that you'd kind of keep a journal of while you're doing the diet. Number 2 would be it forces you to broaden your horizons. So if you have to cut out grains and you always have rice with your dinner, now you're going to have to figure out, okay, I can't use rice, what am I going to eat? I can't eat pasta, what am I going to eat? I can't eat bread, what am I going to eat? So now it's broadening your horizons, and you're starting to look for different ways to add in different foods into your diet. The next one would be it decreases inflammation, and as a byproduct of that, you'll end up getting results, because when your body decreases inflammation, hormones start to work properly, and then you start to use the foods that you're eating more efficiently, and as a byproduct, you get some results. You'll start to lose body fat. You'll start to lose some inches, just as a byproduct. So another reason to do the elimination diet. Then number 4 would be it starts this knock-on effect. It starts like a domino effect, to where you because you're cutting out certain foods, now you have to start thinking ahead. Excuse me. You have to start planning. So now you're thinking, all right, I have to plan what I'm going to eat for these next 3 days, since I can't have grains, or since I can't have booze, or I can't have dairy products, whatever it might be. Now you have to start planning, which is an essential part of how you're going to eat. If you don't plan, the usual one, everybody's heard it, you fail to plan, you plan to fail. With that knock-on effect, then you also have exercise. You start to exercise a little bit more because you're focused on your food. You have more energy, those types of things. So that's number 4. And then the last one would be you start to get rid of some of the nutritional deficiencies that we typically have. So because you're eliminating certain foods, now you're finding more nutrient dense foods instead of calorie dense foods. And by taking in more nutrient dense foods, then we start to eliminate deficiencies, and then as a byproduct of that, you end up with more energy. You sleep better. Your performance when you're with your exercise becomes better, and when you do things well and you do them properly and you start to get results, then your self-confidence, your self-efficacy goes up, and you want to continue and keep going with what you've been doing. So those are 5 benefits that I see from an elimination diet, from getting rid of certain foods to figure out what works best for you. And then you can set up a plan based off that, of what foods your body tells you need to eat. And you basically can start to implement those foods consistently and with care, and get the results that you want. So that's it. That's all I got for you. That's how you set up your nutritional future. That's how you're going to get the results you're looking for and maintain the results that you're looking for. You don't want it to be just one of these, I'll do it for 2 weeks and see what happens. And I know you might be looking at me saying, hypocrite, you fasted for 7 days. That was for completely different reasons. That wasn't a lifestyle thing I was trying to do. It wasn't trying to kickstart any fat loss. It wasn't any of those types of things. That was for completely different reasons. If you want to make nutritional changes, for me, what I've found, this is the best way to do it. I've done it with a bunch of clients over the years, and it's worked for them too. But the thing is, you need to, once you've figured all these things out, by eliminating these certain foods and taking notes and figuring out, are these foods, does my body agree with these foods? Does my body not agree with these foods? Once you figure that out, then is when you really plan for the future of how you eat, and not this diet that everybody wants to do because it's the new year. So that's it. I hope that helps. And again, if you want help with regard to what foods you want to cut out, how off or how long you want to cut them out for, and then how to reintroduce them. If you want some recipes, if you want a shopping list in order to get through the 3 weeks or the 6 weeks, 6 week plan, message me and we'll make some magic happen. All right. Thank you.